Hey everybody, this is the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel that is dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle, or eating one meal a day. Usually when I'm talking to people about OMAD who have never heard of it before, or who have never heard or have had any experience with intermittent fasting, one of the first questions I always get is, what do you eat? And this is a common question. Most people that you see on the street, you could pretty much point to anybody on the planet, and they've all pretty much at one point in their life have been on some sort of diet. And with all of these diets, as we've talked about in a previous video, comes a whole list of rules and food groups that you should avoid and food groups that you're only supposed to eat from, and it's got that rigid structure to it. And so when they approach something like OMAD or intermittent fasting, and they hear people like myself say you can eat what you like and lose weight, it can be very confusing for some people, and I understand. It was a little confusing to myself at first, especially if you're not used to having zero guidelines at all. If you're not used to that structureless form of diet system. So what I wanted to do today, and this is going to be, I'm going to continue this on my channel periodically, is that I want to give you some samples, pictures of just some meals that I've eaten for my OMAD. I'm doing this as just an example, not something that you have to go out and have the exact same thing, but so that you'll get an idea of what I try to incorporate into my meals, what makes it, what doesn't, and approximate size. Again, that's something that works for me. You may need less food, you may need more. You may find that maybe if you had the amount of carbohydrates, for example, that I do, that it doesn't really work well for you. And again, that's all part of the self-experimentation, and that's okay. It's okay to try different things. But this is something I get asked a lot, because after all, I mean, when you tell people you can eat what you like and lose weight, it's a very broad statement, and I mean, most people like many different things. Like, what are you talking about? How much am I supposed to have? Is it low carb? Is it low fat? Is it? And I think, at least my hope is that by the end of at least seeing some of these videos, you'll get a good understanding and a good idea of just where I'm coming from when I say I eat what I like. I don't have any restrictions. I don't have any banned foods that I eat. I just try to eat a very high quality, the best that I can, and as I've said in other videos, I try to incorporate fat, fiber, and protein in every single one of my meals. However, I'm a good quality on all three of those, by the way. And the important thing is every now and then the rules get thrown aside, especially if you decide to incorporate a cheat day where you have kind of a free-for-all and just eat whatever you want, whatever you want. So with that, let's start rolling some of the pictures, and we'll start talking about some of my sample meals. Here was a sample meal that I made myself today. Just a grilled bone-in ribeye, rather a large piece of steak, larger than I normally would eat, but it was once an occasional treat, so it's okay. So I have a bone-in ribeye. Next to that, I have some smashed potatoes from the farmer's market. Put some chive, some grass-fed butter, and roasted garlic in with them. And off to the top, you could probably see that there is a nice, simple, dressed raw romaine salad. I usually don't buy store-made salad dressings. I like to just toss it with a little bit of olive oil and some balsamic vinegar, or occasionally even lemon juice for the acidity. I don't care for store-bought salad dressings at all, but this was just a very simple meal that I made myself. Here's another prime example of me just making some food that I just really love and enjoy to eat. Here I have a grilled grass-fed cheeseburger on a homemade sesame seed bun, not gluten-free, but we have lettuce and tomato on there. I put a little bit of barbecue sauce and ketchup. I have a full sugar root beer soda. have a few chips, and I have some chicken and cheese taquitos, which were not homemade. They were purchases at the store. This was just a nice, fun summer meal that I made myself. And again, burgers are one of my favorite things to eat, and I don't feel there's anything wrong with burgers. I've enjoyed them quite a bit over this diet, and I will say that if I'm going to have a burger, I want to have the best burger that I can have. So I always look for grass-fed meat. Here's another prime example of a more traditional American breakfast OMAD. Depending on what time I have to go into work, often I may make myself a more traditional American breakfast to have as my OMAD. And another side benefit of that is that it's usually one of the cheapest meals of the day to make. So as you can see here, I had a few different types of fresh fruit. I had a few high-fiber pre-made waffles. I had a few pork sausage links. And then I had some scrambled eggs. Got these from the farmer's market. Pasture-raised eggs, but they are really amazing. I'll tell you, if you've never had a pasture-raised egg before, they are worth spending the extra couple of bucks. They really do make for an amazing meal. Well, there you have it, folks. That was just 3 sample meals that I have consumed during my OMAD. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some inspiring ideas. And as I've said before, what I'm going to do is periodically do a video like this where I post some more sample meals of some food and meals that I've made myself, or better yet, what I've eaten out at restaurants, and to give you kind of an idea of where I'm coming from when I say I eat what I like. And I think you can see from those meals, even though just the few that I've posted, that they're pretty diverse, and they're nice full plate, but they're not too large, and they're not really overdoing it in any one particular thing. The one thing I didn't talk about in the video was dessert. I love dessert, but recently what I've gotten into is during the week I pretty much just stick to having a piece of fruit for dessert. Usually with me it's either an apple or a banana. Sometimes I'll switch it up and get something different, but that's usually my go-to dessert for during the week. And then on the weekends when I'm off, I like to just pick something, maybe something that my wife and I mutually like, or maybe I'll make her something and find something for her and find something for myself, and I'll just go and I'll bake in the kitchen, and I'll have a little bit of that to snack on my days off. And if there's any of that that carries over into the rest of the week, then I'll finish that up as well. The benefit with that is that I can involve my daughter. She's 2 years old and she loves to help out. So if you have any kids at home and you do something like that, it gets them used to measuring and following directions and helping out in the kitchen. And believe me, kids love to do that. But also, if you're going to have junk food, I'm a firm believer that you should make it yourself. You'll use far less salt, far less sugar. And do I live like a monk? I've said it before. No, I don't. But I'm not perfect. Sometimes, there's nothing wrong with having that occasional Snickers bar or piece of candy, or pre-made store dessert. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But what I try and do is limit myself in that way. So this way here, I'm not really over-consuming anything. I'm not really going crazy, but at the same time, I'm still feeling in my sweet tooth. And I kind of like the build-up of, oh, God, the weekend's coming. What am I going to make? What are we going to have? And you start to think about it during the week, and it's a lot bit more of a thought process involved. Again, these are not hard, fast rules that you absolutely have to obey. This is just something that I do. I work as a chef, so I hope to bring a little bit, once we get past some of these basics in these few videos that I've been doing in the beginning, to be more food-centric and more food-centered on this channel. After all, I work, as I said it before, I work as a chef, and so food is my life. I love cooking, and I love anything to do with food. And I don't, like other people on other diets or in other channels, I don't make food out to be the enemy. But at the same time, we are conscious human beings with the ability to think for ourselves and to make wise decisions. So there's nothing wrong with imposing some sort of limits on yourself. That's what we're doing if we're only eating one meal a day. But at the same time, if you're going to eat one meal a day, you need to enjoy it. you'd look forward to it and just embrace every second of it. And then when you're done until the next meal. So I hope that was helpful, and like I say, I will continue to post some more of these videos on this channel to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to eat. And I probably will do one whole video on different fast food meals or restaurant meals, because like you and every other working class American and human being, occasionally you don't always make your own meals, so you need to be able to know how what do I do in a restaurant situation. And it's basically the same thing that I've just showed you here. So I'll definitely put some videos of that up coming soon. And if you have any requests for any videos, you have any questions at all, please keep them coming forward. I know some people have contacted me already, and I love hearing from you guys. It's very inspirational, and I love to do what I can to help you on this journey to better health, better weight loss, and longevity. So with that, I am done for today. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a very happy OMAD. Enjoy your meals, and I hope to see more of you in the future. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can be updated whenever I post a new one. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and check me out, and I'll get you in the group where we have a lot more content, articles, and videos that don't get posted on this channel, that I think will help you out and be just as informative too. So with that, have a very nice day and happy OMAD.